It is finally the divisional round of the playoffs, and honestly, this might be the best round of football. There is a lot of people trying to punch their tickets to their conference championship games. These games feel special. Here are my picks for the divisional round. We'll start with the first game. We're going to take the Houston Texans to cover the 9.5 point spread. These two teams are actually a lot different from when they played in week one. This was obviously CJ Stroud's first game as an NFL quarterback, DeMeco Ryans' first game as an NFL head coach. A lot has changed since week one to now, and I think that's for the better, obviously, for the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud has been playing incredible the last couple of weeks, and he has a really good core of weapons that he can get the ball to. They didn't really throw the ball downfield a ton in week one. That has changed over the last couple of weeks. They're trying to get the ball downfield, and I think that they're going to be able to have some big explosive plays on this Baltimore defense. However, I do think that Baltimore is going to win the game. I don't think that that's a shocker or that people are going to be surprised that I'm picking Baltimore to win. But Houston, I think, makes enough explosive plays that they keep this a 7-point game. All right, Tampa Bay at Detroit. I'm taking Tampa plus 6.5. I don't think that they win the game. I think Detroit will actually win the game outright, but I'm taking Tampa in the points. We know that Jared Goff can struggle sometimes under pressure, and that's what Todd Bowles likes to do. Last week against the Eagles, who haven't been able to really pick up a blitz in 7 weeks, he did it a lot, and he got after Jalen Hurts. I think that they're going to be able to do the same thing. Now, the offensive line for this Lions team is actually really good against pressure, but I think Todd Bowles is going to be able to get after Jared Goff just a little bit, and it's going to throw him off of his rhythm. Coming off in a really emotional game, did the Detroit Lions, where you beat Matthew Stafford, you win your first playoff game in 30-something years, and this game might be a little bit of an emotional letdown. Obviously, you know the stakes of it. Winner goes to the NFC Championship game, but I think that there will be a little bit of a letdown with Detroit. It was a big game last week against Matthew Stafford, against a really good Rams team, and you had to fight like hell to win the game. And so I think that there will be a little bit of a letdown this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's be honest, Baker Mayfield has played really well. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, they're using a lot of their weapons in Tampa, and Baker Mayfield is playing pretty good football right now. I think the Lions win this game. They have too many playmakers, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and I think that Aiden Hutchinson's going to have a good game against the Bucs offensive line. But I'm going to take Detroit, Tampa Bay to cover, plus 6.5. Green Bay at San Francisco. Give me the Niners minus 9.5. Look, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm sure that I might come off as just bitter and ungrateful and upset that the Cowboys didn't get to the divisional round. And yes, I am all of those things. However, I do think that this Packers team has played really well. They're running into a juggernaut with the San Francisco 49ers coming off of a week's rest. This is prime Christian McCaffrey time. They're going to try to run the ball with Christian McCaffrey and not have Brock Purdy have to drop back. And I think that this defense that played really well last week against the Cowboys, for the most part, they did allow Dak to throw for over 350 yards. But granted, he didn't throw the ball 60 times. But I think that there are moments that this Green Bay Packers team looks really good, and then sometimes they get caught slipping. And the 49ers are the one team in the league that you don't want to get caught slipping because they will make you pay. I'm taking the 9.5. I think that this is going to be like a 14-point win for the 49ers. When you think of Kyle Shanahan off of a bye, you're at home, start of the playoffs. This is your best chance to win a Super Bowl. This is it. You have to get there this season after last season with the injuries against of the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. I think the 49ers can smell blood. I think they come out and prove that they're the best team in the NFC. They win and cover the 9.5. And finally, it is the game of the week. Honestly, so far, probably the game of the year. It's Kansas City at Buffalo with a trip to the AFC Championship on the line. This is an interesting line. 2.5 means that bookmakers are really just kind of, I think that anytime it's a 2.5, you're probably thinking this is closer to a coin flip. You don't know who's going to win, because if you give them 3 points, obviously you can cover that, or 3.5. I don't know where this is going to go, but I'll tell you who I'm picking. I'm picking Kansas City plus 2.5, and here's a couple of reasons. I know that this is going to be Patrick Mahomes' first road playoff game. He hasn't played in Buffalo with fans in the stands in his entire career. What I am not concerned about is Patrick Mahomes not showing up. He has continued to show up time and time again in the postseason, 10-2 in postseason games. I think that he comes out and plays extremely well. I know that the Buffalo Bills have looked good the last couple of weeks, but they had to really scratch and claw to get out with a win against New England. Last week against Pittsburgh, that shouldn't have been a game. They were facing Pittsburgh's third-string quarterback in Mason Rudolph, had perfect conditions, had a great game from Josh Allen, and somehow you look up and the Steelers are still in the game without TJ Watt and their third-string quarterback. I think Buffalo is a good team, but they were 6-6 at the beginning of the year. It's kind of funny, and I know that Nick Wright has said it, but it's funny that we look at the Buffalo Bills at 11-6, AFC East champions, and see them as dangerous. But we look at the Kansas City Chiefs at 11-6, AFC West champions, and we kind of see them as just a team. Josh Allen's going to have to play his best football of his life. He's going to have to play mistake-free, because this Kansas City defense is one of the best defenses in the league, and it's the best defense that Patrick Mahomes has had. It's the offense that hasn't been going. But last week, Rashee Rice really got going against the Miami Dolphins. I expect them to continue to give him the ball in open space, and I know that Travis Kelce continues to drop passes. I think that's going to change at some point. I'm taking Kansas City to win outright against Buffalo. So take them, Kansas City, plus 2.5 this weekend. All right, so those are my picks for the divisional round. Let me know down in the comments, what did I get right? What did I get wrong? What are your predictions for this weekend? It is the best weekend of football. This is an incredible weekend. 4 games, 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. I'll be glued in. Be sure to like this and subscribe to the channel. Peace.